Today I'm going to be showing you how you can create this really nice but really bright card where what we've done is we've combined the 3D embossing folder with the stencils that work perfectly together. What we're going to do to start with is we've just taken a piece of our white smooth cardstock, just cut this down to 5x7 already. So we're going to bring in our embossing folder. We're just going to pop our cardstock in the middle, and I'm just going to lay that just so it's nicely settled right within the middle of our folder. Because it's 3D, when it comes to our plates, what we're going to do is we're going to bring in our cutting plate, we're going to bring in our plastic shim and also our magnetic. And what we're doing then is just sandwiching that in between. So that goes on top of our cutting plate. We're then going to bring in our magnetic and then our plastic, and then all that we're doing is we're just going to feed that through the Gemini. Now that will fit through the Gemini Junior no problem at all. It will of course fit through your large Gemini. It will even fit through the Gemini Midi as well, even although it's a 3D folder. Bringing that in, we're lifting this one up. Now you can see that is actually the deboss side, but how elegant does that look? So if I flip that one over, now look at the depth. So if I come close up, just so that you can really see it even more in all of that elegant 3D detail, look at that. Leave it like that if you want, that would look phenomenal. However, we are going to add some colour. We're going to add some colour using the coordinated stencils that also come with it. So you can see we've got the stencil just here. I've got a piece of coloured paper here, so you can see that perfectly there. So that just complements the design nicely. So what you're going to do to start with is you're just going to bring in your stencil, and we're just going to lay that one just over the top. So I'm going to turn that one that way, and it just sits nicely. We're just even going to lift that one up, and all of these 3D layers are just going to sit and just pop through the stencil. If you want to use your temporary stick and spray, you can do. I'm just going to hold that down with my hands. I've got that now in place where I want it to be. So to start with, I'm going to bring in our water reactive. We're going to bring Oasis and Parakeet, and I've also got a few of my blending foams, so we can bring these ones in. So to start with the Oasis, I'm just going to lay up my ink pad of colour, and I'm just going to take a little excess bit off onto my glass mat. And I'm going to do the bottom of the vase. So we're going to do this jug part here. So all that I'm going to do is just with my actual blending foam, we're just going to hold it into place. Like I say, you can use your temporary adhesive, but I'm just using my fingers just to show you. And we're just going to then just start to colour all the way around. So what the stencil does is that maintains and keeps hold of the ink where you want it to be, which is on the vase. So we're just going to keep layering up our colour. So we're just going to work all the way around. We can even start to do the handle. So if we then just pop that one back into place. So if it moves, the great thing with the stencil is because it matches the 3D embossing, it just nestles just nicely. So again, we're just going to work our way around, just doing like we've done to start with. And we're just going to add that colour on. So if I lift that one up just now, we can see how you've got that colour just coming to life on the actual jug of the folders. So if we move that one, we're going to bring in the Parakeet, and again we're just going to ink it up just like we've done before. And then I'm just going to pop that one over the top once again, and just very lightly, just around the edges. You don't need to be too precise. What this is just starting to do is it's starting to give it a little bit of shape. We're just following that shape from the right hand side, and what it's doing is it's also giving dimension, following the lines, 3D lines, remember, that this folder gives you. So we're just going to pick up just some of the colour round the sides, even just round the bottom, round the detail, and even just a little bit round the handle of the jug. So we've got that one there. So if I remove that one, we can see how we've got that depth just sweeping all the way around. So I'm going to move that one out of the way. We're then going to bring in our Frosty Jade. So still using this same stencil. And what we can do is we can start to look at all these foliage that are just popping out. Don't worry about cross-contaminating your colours. You know, it looks effective, it looks very mixed media style, so that looks absolutely lovely. So I'm just going to swap my pad because we're going on to a different colour tone. And then what I'm going to do is just ink this one up. And again, like before, I'm just following where all these little stems are, and I'm just going to ink over the top. Doesn't matter if I go on top of where the flowers are, where the tulips are, it all adds to the very natural effect. So we're just picking some of this out. So we're just going over the top like so. So then what I'm going to do is remove that one, and you can see how that just picks up some of that accent colour from the foliage that we can see just here. And then what I'm going to do, once again, still using that same stencil, we are now going to go across and we're going to bring in our pink tulip and our fuchsia. So this is where we can now start to add extra colour when it comes to the actual tulips. So let's start with the pink tulip and lay up that colour, and then again we're just going to pop that over the top like we have been doing, and then I'm just going to go on top of the flowers. So just going on top of the tulips, we're just adding that base colour in with the actual pink tulip colour. Water reactive, so this is when we can do the blend in, we can do any additional techniques that you want. Picking that one out, then we can go into that deeper shade, which is the fuchsia. And a bit like what we've done within the jug, we're just going to start to add little depth of colour to the base. And as you can see, that tulip really starts to come to life when you actually add the fuchsia. And you'll see it even more once we remove the stencil and we kind of do the reveal of the actual fuchsia's colour. So if I then bring that one in, if I then remove that one, and we're then going to let that just speak for itself. You can see that straight away, how that looks. But the great thing with these stencil is you get the background as well. So let's move that one out of the way. We're then bringing in this sort of, you know, gingham kind of effect within this stencil here. What we do with that one, lay it straight over the top. We're going to bring in our straw bale as well as our lemon tonic, and then we're just going to swap our ink pads, bring in another one, so we are then going to be able to use this one with the yellow tones. So we're just going to ink this one up, and then now don't worry about doing too precise colouring when it comes to the actual vase. All that we're going to do is we're going to work our way around, and we're just going to colour just where we've got the white cardstock underneath. We're not going to go over the top where we've already coloured. However, if you do get colour in those areas, don't worry, don't panic. It all adds to that very rustic kind of effect that you're looking for, but with bright colours. So we're just working our way around, and with the straw bale, you don't always think you're initially seeing colour, but trust me, when I remove that, you start to see, just lightly, you start to see the little hint of colour coming to life. And then what we do is we just pop it back on again. I'm just popping it back into place. And this time we're going to go in with the lemon tonic. And we're just going to lay that one up. And then what we're just going to do is just round the edges. We're just going to pick that colour. So we're picking it out all the way around, just adding that little bit of depth. It's kind of giving it a bit of a shadow as well. And we're just working our way around, even in between where the handles are. And I'm going to remove that one. We can see how that picks up that colour. Now the full control is in your hands. You can go lighter, you can go deeper, you can change the colours completely if you want to. So then I'm just bringing in my card blank, 5x7, that's also in the box. And this colour cardstock also comes within the actual subscription box too. And we're going to work our way around, popping this one into place. So we're just going to line that one up. We're going to pop this one into place here. And within this open area at the top, I'm just going to bring in one of our stamps. Let's bring in Happy Birthday. I've also got my stamping platform. We're going to just pop that one into place there. We're going to then bring in just our Noir Black, and we're just going to stamp that colour on top, that black colour. That can then just sit nicely along the top. We're going to press, and then all that we're going to do is just add a couple of gems just at the bottom. So I say we're doing a couple, let's do 3, let's do a few. So 1, 2, and then 3. And then just to finish it off, using the ribbon that also comes within the subscription box, we're just going to add that into the middle, like that one, popping that one in. Now this is just one of 3 thicknesses that you get, and you get 3 different colours. That's all that I'm doing to finish it off, just nicely. A nice bright spring colour card that could go for many different occasions, because of course you've got those 3 different sentiments, and that's one of the cards that you can make within your subscription box.